Current interventions to prevent the spread of COVID-19 and the lockdown levels and our options going forward. Firstly, the global context is that many countries have been much harder hit than South Africa. They are further along the curve, as it were, whereas cases here are only expected to spike in coming months. As countries in Europe and areas of the United States, for example, start to lift their lockdowns, the World Health Organization has released criteria for lifting lockdowns. Let's take a look at that first. It says transmission should be controlled. Health system capabilities should be in place to detect, test and isolate and treat every case and trace it every contact. Outbreak risks need to be minimized. Preventative measures are in place in workplaces, schools and other places where it's essential for people to go, and of course that's something that South Africa is grappled with, particularly schools. Importation risk can be managed and communities are fully engaged, educated, engaged and empowered to adjust to the new norm. Now we are moving to level 3, so let's take a look at some of the restrictions there. Takeaway restaurants, online food delivery allowed. We already have that online food delivery. Liquor retail allowed within restricted hours. Clothing retail allowed. Right now only winter clothes can be sold. Some controversy around that. Books, stationery, personal electronics and office equipment, all of that can be sold as well. E-commerce and delivery services, we're already seeing that opening up under level 4 automotive manufacturing. These are sectors that are permitted. Chemicals, bottling, cement and steel, machinery and equipment, Sunroll and Transnet at 100%, global businesses, services as well. All agriculture, forestry, pulp, paper, mining, we're seeing a return of the mines already under level 4, but of course huge concern. We've been reporting on that tonight in Limpopo, where 20 mine workers or officials connected to those mines have already tested positive. And here's your transport restrictions. Bus services, taxi services, e-hailing, private motor vehicles may operate at all times of the day. Limitations on capacity though, and stringent hygiene requirements. Now the move to level 3 expected to be around the end of the month, only for areas with controlled transmission. Some metros may remain on level 4, that was suggested by the President in his earlier address. And we are all on level 4 right now until the end of the month. So let's remind you what is allowed under current regulations. These are the sectors that are permitted. Food retail stores, we are seeing though that extended to winter clothing, fiber optics, IT, professional and financial services, formal waste recycling, business services and postal and telecommunication services. Agriculture as well. This is very similar to level 3. Mines operating at 50% of capacity though. Bus services, taxis, e-hailing and private motor vehicles may operate all times of the day. We've already seen an opening up since level 5, but again, limitations on capacity and stringent hygienic requirements. And then the movement restrictions, of course, outlined there. Every person confined to his or her place of residence from 8 p.m. to 5 a.m. That is the curfew that remains in place for now. And there is no local or inter-provincial movement of people except under specific conditions. Of course, we saw that once-off return home that was allowed for people to get to work, etc. And some changes there suggested by the President around the current exercise hours as well, even under level 4. We're waiting for details. Now, yesterday, SABC News brought you the story